Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa, and today I'm going to be playing with more with my chipboard pieces, but I just wanted to show you before I started what I have. So what I did was I took half of what I had originally gotten. So if you recall, if you saw the haul, there was 2 of every chipboard. So here's the ones that I have not separated. And so I took 1 of each and separated them, and this is how many I have. And I do have the other ones that I colored from the previous video here, but this is all that I have. And I just want to show you a fun thing that I wasn't thinking about would happen. I'm just going to push these to the side. Is I put these on just some really off-white papers, and you could probably see what happened. Get some of that. It gave like a coffee effect. The brown whatever from the chipboard did a kind of a halo effect. So very cool. This was, of course, my spray off, and if I had known it was going to happen with the halo effect, I probably wouldn't have done it, but who knows, I might end up putting some paint on here or cutting them apart to add as ephemera. Did bleed through a little bit, but you can tell it's very thin paper. But yeah, so if you're going to decide to wet yours down, split them up, put them on something light that you might want to coffee dye, and maybe even just some regular coffee dye paper that you've done already, just to get some prints. Put them in a pleasingly layout, and there you go. Okay, I'm gonna stop the video. I'm gonna get the stuff ready so we can play and make some stuff. All right, so I gathered some stuff together, and I just wanted to show you when we did the last video, when I was spraying these and I had started these, I did go through and I did add some more stamping to it. Might be hard to tell. I did add like some red stamping to it, definitely fall looking, just generic all over the place. These were the ones that I had cut out originally in half to leave half, so I did add a few more stamps to those for it, but let's cut them out and see what they look like. So what I'm going to do today is, and I have created one version already to show you, and then we'll do another one on camera just to kind of play with it. The one that I did already, I did in the colors to do for the monster at the end of the book, purples and pinks and stuff like that, and I did use stencils, so I'm going to show you that after this. And then I was thinking the one I'll do on camera I'm going to make with more neutral colors. I have a craft kind of paper that I was thinking I could use. It's pretty thin too. It's got a grid lines on it, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to be able to stamp on that. And there we go. Yeah, I'm not sure if I want to save these, but these are very cool. Even by themselves as strips. Yeah, I think I still might save those. These little ones though, not so much, but these strips I like. Okay, even that I like. Put that in my little bucket of... Okay, I'm gonna have to have a container of strips I like, I think. All right, so these two. So that's what it ends up looking like in full. And there is that one. But like I did for this, I just went through and then kind of guessed where half was, to make them into more washi size strips. I got that one and that one. So I'm pretty well set with one sheet here with some fall colored. And I do have that fall journal that I made with my fall freebie digitals. Very fun. All right, so I just wanted to show you how that one finished. Now I'm going to put this to the side, and I'm going to show you the purple one, the one that I made for the monster book. All right, so the monster book. I used pinks and purples, and I haven't cut these in half yet. I did cut them out, so I probably should have waited to cut it out on the full sheet, but I got so excited to cut it out. I have made 2 projects with these already. So I'm going to show you what I made with these 2 projects. And then we will do the neutral one I was talking about. So, fun. I used pink and purples. And you can see there's a little bit of, or not pink and purples, well, sort of pinks. Purples, blues, and pinks. And there's a little blue printing on there, some black. strips, fun. This one's a little bit more blue with pink, purple. Love that. Okay, so what I did is I took one of these strips, because I had made 4 of them, and I put it in the book. There it is. This is a half-page book in there. So I just put a strip on the edge here as a decoration. That is what that one looked like. And I did the same on the opposite side, which would be over here. There you are. Nope. Where are you? There's that. There you are. And I put that one there. So it just adds a little bit of color to a little bit more drab page. And it's a sticker, so it's stuck right on there. Simple, easy. Now the next thing I did is I made a belly band to go in here. And let me show you what this is. So here's the belly band. I'm going to show you how I did it. This is one of these strips. Oh, and I shouldn't have cut those in half. Bummer, I cut them in half. I shouldn't have cut them in half. Maybe I can use 2 of them together. We'll figure it out. This was made from the cardboard from the cutouts. I used that. There's the cutout. I did chop it off the top, but I did one of the washi strips, some paper behind. I did one of the chipboards on there, a little wraparound piece of fabric that I had laying around, a couple tickets, and we have a lovely belly band, and I actually think that is a pretty good place to put it. So I think I'm going to glue it down. I did the fabric, kind of use that more for a pull normally, but I thought it was a fun accent piece to have on there. I originally had it when I was making it going up and down to glue on, but there was too many things with these 2 tickets going up and down and the strip of fake washi tape, whatever you want to call it, the carpet tape, going up and down, and I felt like there was too many things going up and down. I needed something to juxtapose it. So yeah, that is wonderful. And we would just take a some sort of card and be able to stick it in there for a belly band. I love it. Okay, so let me show you hopefully how I made this. Not exactly hard. All right, but I took that and I had a sheet of paper. I have these books I got a long time ago off of not eBay, Temu, that just have very thin pieces of paper. I've got like 4 of them. It's called Mo Card. Came in about 6 colors. I think I ended up getting 4 of them at the time. All I did was take a very thin strip of these on each side. Grab a glue book here, and I'm going to put the glue pin back in here before it hardens on me. And we'll glue these down. All right, so we're going to glue this down. And I'm going to glue it even on the edge for this side. Pull that down. And straighten it out. All right, now we're going to glue this one on, whoops, this side. And there. All right, so the next one is going to go across the top here. And I'm just going to take a little piece there, and I'm just going to glue it. I'm going to end up cutting this off the top to make it straight. So it didn't really matter that the sides were, top was ripped or anything. I just wanted to cover it up like that. And I'm just going to wrap it around instead of cutting it off. Now, like I said, hopefully I can do this because I have 2 pieces, but we'll see. All right, so what I had originally done was I had this in one piece and I glued it down and then I cut the top off. And we're gonna do, oh, that's glue. I'm like, what is that on my finger? Okay, we don't need glue because this is a sticker and they're very sticky. Putting the glasses on. All right, so this one's going to go here and this one did lean there. All right, so we're going to try to piece it back together. All right, I am going to have it overlap the bottom just a little bit. I can trim it off. And I'm just doing my best to eyeball it straight. I probably put it too far over. Yes, I did. Well, I can always trim that side down a little bit. Hard to tell when it wasn't a full piece, you know? All right. Now we're going to do our best to marry this up with the lines of where I cut it off. And I overlapped a little. But that's okay. All right, I'm just going to fold this under. This carpet tape is so strong. Okay, so if I want to make it like 8 inches tall, let's make it 7 inches. If I make 7 inches there, but I think I'm going to cut it right around. Cut it right around this line right here. Okay, so I got rid of that top part, and we do that. Now, I definitely do not have to cut this down so it's even. Got a little paper hanging off there. I could add a little trim or something to that side, or another little washi or something to that side. The first one, I did round the corners, so I'm going to round the corners on this one just to make it to be this, to be the same. And there we have a lovely belly band. Now I have pulled a few tickets and things together to make a decoration. All right, so I got orange and pink. How about green and pink? Let's do green and pink. And I don't think I have any fabric left. That piece was just kind of laying around. Got some yellow and blue fabric that could actually work. There's yellow in this. All right, let's do that. Let's do that. And I have taken one of the cutouts and I actually spritzed it with a pink. Ooh, that's so pretty on there. So shiny, so shiny pretty. I love it. Okay, so we're going to start with gluing this down. And I'm going to use the art glitter glue to glue this down. I'm going to wrap it around like a tab. All right, stick it out a bit. Maybe not that far. There we go. Okay. So yeah, so very simple to be able to make a fun belly band out of those washi tapes with just a, now you don't have to have packaging, but that packaging, if you get those, is perfect. Just perfect to make a belly band tab. Throw a little ink around this just to make it stand out. All right. put this down first, and there we go. Okay, so the next thing, if you want to see how I made those washi tapes again, I'm going to do that next, but I'm going to do it, like I said, with a more neutral palette instead of a crazy one. But crazies are fun sometimes, right? And use that to make sure it gets stuck down. Okay, and put that. Don't want to cover it up totally, so I think I'll push that down. There, keep the number. Yeah, that's where we'll put it. All right. So I'm not sure where I'll put it in the book yet. I'm sure I'll have a video upcoming soon where I can add, even though I have added that one already. Let's see, was that in the first? That was in the second signature. All right, so I want to put this in the first signature. I added that already. I don't know if you saw me make that with the pocket. So that would be crazy. Oh, I like that. The teal and blue there. Oh, yep, I definitely like that. Okay, let's glue it there. All right, well, that was taken care of pretty easily. I like when a plan comes together. Okay. All right, 2 belly bands. I love it. There you are. Got that one, dark purples, and that one. So cute. I love them. Very fun. Okay. All right, I'm going to take a minute to clean this stuff up, and I will be back, and we will work on the neutral version of this project. Okay, I am back and ready to go. All right, so this is some thin paper that I had found on Temu. It's just a graph paper, so I thought it'd be nice to have those lines in there. And I picked out some of my cardboard pieces that I had separated. A little bit more, I don't know what to call it, fall-like, but neutral. I got bees because they can have some, browns and stuff on there, and then the leaves. So I've chosen a couple colors to spray. I have this Distress Spritz in Antique Linen. I had to take the packaging off, so I never used that one. I've got Vintage Photo in Distress, and also peeled paint. This is a stain, and this is an oxide. So I think I'm going to start with this Antique Linen because I learned from my previous endeavors, starting out with lighter stuff is better because adding darker is a little easier. So my goal is also hopefully to put 3 strips in here, but we'll see when we're all said and done. Yeah, this is definitely a neutral looking color. So kind of a nice base to put on there. So I don't mind putting it in more places. Yeah, definitely neutral, but this Distress Spritz has a bit of a sheen to it. So I might have to put some on top of it afterwards, but that is actually coming out very cool on its own. Where's my little... Hard to see, but it is, like, that's the brown, and that almost has a gold effect to it. I like it. Okay, so I'm going to put just a tad bit of, I think I'm going to do a little bit of green. I'm trying just a little bit. Yeah, I like it. It's very, very subtle. And then a little bit of the Vintage Photo, and I think I'm gonna I think I'm going to whirl my world around here. I'm spraying from a different angle. Yes, very cool. I am liking this. Subtle, earthy, very cool. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video because I need to dry this so that we can stamp with the other stuff. So I will be right back. All right, I am back, and this is fairly dry. And let me tell you that antique linen is now my favorite, absolute favorite spray. The little glitz on these is spectacular. I love them. Okay, so one thing I also decided to do, I'm gonna pull these off because they're not part of the actual washi, but to have these now to add as ephemera, I am so excited over. I love it. But one thing I want to show you is I forgot to say that when I was doing those pink and purple ones, I used stencils. And you had seen this technique with spray, but I figured I'd put a little bit of stencil on these too, so it won't hurt. And I got my ground espresso, and I'm just gonna randomly put some stencils on here. When I did the other one, I did do just stencils, and I used my number one and a couple generic ones like this. So the other thing I did was I took a wet wipe, and I've done this before with stencils, is after I inked it, I did take a wet wipe and clean it off as it was on there, because it does transfer the color through on these when you do that. But just adds a little bit of, I don't know, it doesn't do it anymore. Adds just a little bit of more subtle color to it. I like doing that as an option. It also cleans your stencil at the same time. Almost looks like a coffee dyed, that ground espresso. I guess it is a coffee. You know, sometimes things just don't always register when they should. That's funny, Lisa. The ground espresso looks like coffee. Duh. Okay. Now that my duh moment is over, all right, so the next thing I ended up doing was stamping these. Now I am going to put the carpet tape on afterwards, because there's, even though it's thin, there's a bit of a lump because there's the release paper on there. So I don't want a lump when I'm doing the stamping. Okay, so for the background, I have, this is more neutral. I think we'll do some words. So I'm going to start with, I think I'm going to do the darker VersaFine. I'm just going to put one little strip there and see what that looks like. Yeah, I like that. Okay. I'm just going to do some small strips to not overwhelm it. Okay. All right, so let's get to some of the smaller stuff. Okay, I do have another set of words that is a little bit smaller that I like to put on things. And it's upside down. It's got a little ink splooch in there too, which is fun. And again, I'm not sure where these pieces of tape are going to go, so just randomly putting it on here to have it work is just fine. All right, so let's get some of my rulers here, and let's add a few of these, and let's go with this one. It's so hard to sometimes get these straight. They're kind of wiggly, you know. Do a little second off print so we get a little bit of a lighter color occasionally. Not the wrongest idea, not a bad idea. All right, so we got a ruler. And let's pull out some of my Tim Holtz stamps. Now I'll make a, whoops, got a big old goober on there. There we go. I got a confession to make. I have taken my 3 collections, correspondence, eclectic, and field notes, and I put it in one bin because I was so tired of them falling off the big piece of plastic. So I have them mixed together. I don't know what is what, but I have my biggest ones for those 3 collections in here, and then I got a bag that I put the smallest ones on, and then I close it up and I have them all. So at this point, if I use a stamp, I'm not going to know if it's eclectic or eccentric, correspondence, or field notes. But those are my 3 that I like to use the most, and they are linked down below. So I think I'm going to start with sort of a bigger one. Let's do specimen since we have outlines of stuff. And it's very subtle, that spray on there, for sure. But it gives a little bit of a texture. All right, a couple specimens here and there. And again, just putting it where I feel. Not sure where the paper is going to go, or the tape, I should say, is going to go. All right, let's do a few. Let's do some numbers. And these are up and down, and the tape's going to go sideways, so more than likely there'll only be a couple numbers on a tape instead of a bunch. So I'll put a couple sideways, like that. All right, let's do one word, perfection. And I think I might call this done, because I am liking how it's looking. And that perfection is crooked. But odds are it might not even end up on a washi strip. Okay, got rid of that stamp. All right, let's tape it up. Let's call it done. Let's not overwork it, because that is something that can be easily done. Very cool. I really like it. It definitely has a bit of glitz to it. Yeah, I think this is going to turn out very cool. Okay, so we are going to tape it, and I am almost out of tape. I did find it. It is the, I think it says on the listing 1.88 inches. I call it 2 inches. It's just shy of 2 inches. Now, one thing you want to do when you cut these is you want to kind of cut between your fingers, because you want to have a finger on the piece you cut off, because once this lands, it doesn't come off. It is sticky. All right, so I have no idea what's on the front, but I'm not going to go all the way to the bottom. I'm going to go here, and then I'm pretty sure I can get 3 out of here. So I'll put 1 on the top here, and then I'll center-ish the bottom, and I'm not going to the end. There's that one. And just eyeballing it, how far. As you can see, they're different sizes. This one really almost went to the absolute end. All right, just using a scraper to make sure everything is sealed down. This paper is pretty thin. It's going to stick really well to it. Okay, and I'm going to cut these out from the back, not knowing what we got. I almost feel like I should have a drum roll. And this tape is thick enough that you can really put your scissor next to it and guide where it gets cut. Save it as a tidbit? Of course. I actually changed my tidbit. If you've been with me for a while, seen a few videos, I had a little baby bucket next to me that I would throw things that I didn't have a home for or forgot to put away, one-off kind of things. And it used to be this bucket, but now I've cut up all my boo-boo tapes to put in there. It is now, if I can grab it here, this big. So I got more room and I add more stuff to it. I find the most fun things there. Like I said, I found that one fabric, both of those little fabrics for the belly bands in there. Okay, we're getting there. I'm getting there. Very exciting. Whoops, cutting. You can tell when I'm cutting into. I just keep going a little bit here. Cut into the, you can see I cut into the little bit of white. Okay. All right, I'm gonna save these two. They're a little thicker. And I put in my tidbits. I'm just gonna fold them in half because they'd be small pieces anyway. And I think I'll get rid of the rest. I have enough. Okay, here we go. It's out of the way. And oh my gosh, I love these. These are beautiful. We have that one. And we have this one. And we have this one. And again, cut them in half to make your own little washi. What's nice about this one, they're actually, it's hard to see its fate there, but that grid had a line that I could follow below it. You still see some of the grids there, still pops through. But you've got tiny little ones. I love these. I think I'm going to have to do a random ephemera making session where I add these to some of my pre-made cards because these are fun. I'm going to have to order some tape. Okay, well, I think I'm going to call this a day because I do not think I could top this at all. These are just beautiful. So we've got those, and we've got these, and I got a couple left of those. Okay, very successful. I love it. I mean, I still love these. These are beautiful with the fall colors and the neutrals, but yeah, beautiful. Okay, that's going to be it for me today. If you like the video, a thumbs up would be great. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel and want to see future videos, like me making random ephemera out of these, and probably these because I got the fall journal, and maybe even these, click that subscribe button, hit the bell so you get notified when they pop up. All right, thanks so much for stopping by, and as usual, I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye for now.